Imagine this. You wake up with a dream burning inside you. Maybe it's starting a business, applying for a promotion, speaking on stage, or even just sharing your art with the world. You're excited, motivated, ready to go. But then, that tiny voice creeps in. What if you fail? What will people think of you? You're not ready yet. You're not good enough. And just like that, your energy fades. Your dream takes a back seat. You convince yourself to wait for the right time. But deep down, you know it's not timing. It's self-doubt holding you prisoner. Here's the painful truth. Self-doubt has killed more dreams than failure ever will. It whispers in silence. It hides in hesitation. It disguises itself as being realistic. But let's be honest. How many opportunities have you let slip because you doubted yourself? How many times have you said no to life before the world even had the chance to say yes? Now imagine this alternate reality. You silence that voice. You step forward with unshakable belief. You try, you learn, you grow, and doors open because confidence attracts opportunities. Imagine becoming the kind of person who no longer hesitates, who no longer second guesses, who acts boldly because self-doubt no longer owns them. That's exactly what we're going to build today. I'll share with you 7 powerful rules to remove your self-doubt forever. Not temporary motivation, not fluffy words, but practical steps to rewire your mindset and strengthen your confidence. If you've ever felt stuck, insecure, or afraid to step into your potential, this is for you. Stay with me until the end, because these 7 rules could change the way you see yourself forever. Rule 1: question the voice, don't obey it. Self-doubt almost always shows up as a voice inside your head. It's the whisper that says, you're not ready. You're not smart enough. What if you fail? What will people think? And here's the mistake most of us make. We treat that voice like it's the truth. But here's the reality. That voice is not truth. It's just fear disguised as logic. Think of it this way. Your mind is like a protective parent. Its job is to keep you safe. So whenever you're about to step out of your comfort zone, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, applying for a job, starting a business, or expressing yourself creatively, your brain tries to protect you by predicting every possible danger. It tells you stories about why it won't work, why you'll fail, or why you should wait. But most of these stories are just exaggerated warnings, not facts. That's why the first rule to remove self-doubt forever is simple. Question the voice, don't obey it. The next time self-doubt shows up, pause and challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought based on actual evidence? Or is it just fear? Has this voice been wrong before? What proof do I have that I can succeed? You'll often find that the voice of doubt has no real foundation. It's like a house of cards. It looks solid, but one touch of reason makes it collapse. Take a moment and remember something you once thought you couldn't do. Maybe it was passing an exam, landing a job, or learning a new skill. At that time, doubt told you, you can't, but you did it anyway. That's proof that the voice is not reliable. So the next time it whispers, don't treat it like a command. Treat it like background noise. Observe it, question it, and then move forward anyway. Because when you start questioning your doubts instead of obeying them, you'll discover something powerful. Most of the limits you thought were real were never real at all. Rule 2: replace comparison with progress. One of the fastest ways to destroy your confidence is comparison. You open social media, see someone younger with more success, someone fitter with the perfect body, someone richer with a better lifestyle, and immediately you shrink. You think, I'm behind. I'm not good enough. I'll never catch up. That's how self-doubt multiplies. Comparison is its favorite fuel. But here's the truth. Comparison is unfair, and it's a losing game. Why? Because you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. You see their polished victories, but not their hidden struggles. You don't see the late nights, the failures, the sacrifices. You only see the outcome, and then you use that outcome to measure your worth. That's like comparing the cover of one book to the rough draft of another. It makes no sense. So here's the rule: replace comparison with progress. The only person you should measure yourself against is the person you were yesterday. That's the only fair, meaningful comparison. Ask yourself, am I a little stronger than I was last month? Do I know something today that I didn't know last year? Have I taken one step, even a tiny one, toward my goals this week? That's progress. And progress builds confidence. Here's a simple exercise. At the end of each day, Write down 3 wins. They don't need to be massive. Maybe you drank more water, finished a task you've been delaying, or spoke up once in class or at work. Those small wins add up. Over time, they create a record of growth. And when self-doubt appears, you can look at that record and say, I am moving forward. I am better than before. Progress kills comparison, because when you focus on your own lane, your own journey, your own growth, you stop caring about where others are. You realize you're not behind. You're simply on your unique path, at your unique pace. So stop measuring your worth by someone else's timeline. Replace comparison with progress, and watch your self-doubt melt away. Rule 3: take action before you feel ready. One of the biggest traps of self-doubt is waiting for the perfect moment. You tell yourself, I'll start when I feel confident. I'll try when I know more. I'll move forward when I'm fully ready. But here's the truth. That moment never comes. Confidence doesn't magically appear before action. It's built through action. Think about learning to swim. You can read books about it, watch videos, even practice movements on dry land. But you don't become a swimmer until you get into the water. The same applies to confidence. You don't wait for it. You earn it by stepping into the unknown. Here's the rule. Take action before you feel ready. Self-doubt thrives in hesitation. The longer you wait, the louder your fears grow. But once you move, fear loses its grip. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds belief. Even small steps matter. Send that email. Apply for that opportunity. Speak up in that meeting. Each action, no matter how small, chips away at self-doubt. Most people overestimate the danger of failing and underestimate the cost of not trying. Think about all the opportunities lost because of hesitation. What if you had started a year ago? Where would you be now? Every day you wait, self-doubt steals progress. The secret is to lower the bar for action. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Just begin. Write 1 paragraph. Make 1 phone call. Record 1 video. That single step proves to your brain, I can do this. And once you prove it once, it gets easier the next time. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action in spite of fear. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to move. Readiness will follow. So ask yourself today, what's 1 action I've been postponing because of self-doubt? Then commit to doing it within the next 24 hours. Don't overthink. Don't wait for the perfect mood. Just act. Because confidence doesn't come first. Action does. And the moment you move, you begin to silence doubt and strengthen belief. Rule 4: master your inner voice. The loudest voice you hear every single day isn't from your friends, your family, or your critics. It's your own. That constant internal dialogue, your self-talk, shapes how you see yourself. If your inner voice is harsh, critical, and doubtful, then self-doubt will always have the upper hand. But if you learn to master that voice, you can replace doubt with strength. Most of us say things to ourselves that we would never say to a loved one. You're not good enough. You'll fail. Who do you think you are? Imagine speaking that way to a child. It would crush their confidence. Yet many people live with that soundtrack in their head every day. No wonder self-doubt feels so heavy. Here's the rule. Master your inner voice. That begins with awareness. Start paying attention to the words you tell yourself. Catch the negative patterns. Once you recognize them, challenge them. If your mind says, you can't do this, respond with evidence. Actually, I've handled harder things before. If it says, you're not ready, answer back. I may not be perfect, but I can learn as I go. The next step is to deliberately replace destructive language with empowering language. Use affirmations that speak to your strength and resilience. Phrases like, I am capable, I can adapt, I trust myself, may feel awkward at first, but repetition rewires your subconscious. Over time, these positive statements become your default thoughts. Visualization also helps. Picture yourself succeeding, handling challenges, and thriving. The brain struggles to distinguish vividly imagined experiences from real ones. By rehearsing success in your mind, you prepare yourself to live it in reality. Finally, limit external voices that fuel inner negativity. If certain people, media, or environments constantly plant seeds of doubt, reduce your exposure. Protect your mental space the way you protect your home. Only allow in what strengthens you. Mastering your inner voice doesn't mean you'll never hear doubt again. It means you'll know how to respond. Instead of letting negative thoughts control you, you'll guide them. And once your inner voice becomes a source of encouragement, self-doubt will lose its strongest weapon. Rule 5: build proof through small wins. One of the biggest reasons self-doubt lingers is because we lack evidence of our own ability. Your brain believes what you consistently show it. If you constantly avoid challenges, your mind collects proof that you're not capable. But if you create small wins, you build undeniable evidence that you can succeed, and that evidence destroys doubt. Think about how children learn to walk. They don't start by running marathons. They take one shaky step, fall, and then try again. Every small success builds confidence until walking feels natural. Adults are no different. You don't erase self-doubt by leaping straight into the biggest challenge. You erase it by stacking small victories until belief becomes unshakable. Here's the rule: build proof through small wins. Start by setting achievable, realistic goals. Instead of aiming to finish an entire book in a week, commit to reading 5 pages a day. Instead of trying to master a new skill overnight, focus on 15 minutes of practice. These tiny commitments create momentum. Each time you follow through, you show your brain, I can be trusted. I can do this. The power of small wins lies in their compounding effect. One success fuels the next. Over weeks and months, those wins accumulate into massive confidence. Self-doubt struggles to survive when you have daily evidence of progress staring you in the face. Celebrate these wins, no matter how small. Too often, people dismiss their progress because it doesn't seem grand enough. But progress is progress. Writing 1 page today might not seem like much, but stack those pages and you've got a book. Each win is proof. Each proof is confidence. And remember, small wins don't just silence doubt, they build identity. When you consistently take action, you begin to see yourself differently. You're no longer someone trying. You're someone who does. That shift in identity is powerful. Doubt cannot thrive in the presence of consistent evidence. So ask yourself, what's one small win I can create today? Don't wait for the perfect time. Start now. Because the more proof you give your brain, the less space self-doubt has to live. Rule 6: focus on progress, not perfection. Perfectionism is one of the biggest breeding grounds for self-doubt. You convince yourself that unless something is flawless, it isn't worth doing. You delay starting projects, overanalyze details, and criticize every effort. The result? You stay stuck, paralyzed by impossibly high standards. But here's the truth: perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. What matters is progress. Every master you admire started as a beginner. Every expert once made countless mistakes. They didn't wait to be perfect before acting. They focused on getting better with each attempt. Progress, not perfection, is what builds confidence and erases doubt. Here's the rule: focus on progress, not perfection. Instead of asking, is this flawless? Ask, am I better than yesterday? That simple shift changes everything. When your standard is growth, not perfection, self-doubt loses its power. You no longer measure yourself against an unattainable ideal. You measure yourself against your own past self. Progress also builds resilience. When you value improvement, setbacks become part of the journey rather than proof of inadequacy. Missing a goal isn't failure, it's feedback. Each step forward, even a small one, strengthens your belief that you can keep improving. Perfectionism also steals joy. It makes every task stressful because nothing ever feels good enough. But progress invites celebration. Finishing a draft, improving your fitness, learning a new skill. These are victories, even if they're not perfect. The more you celebrate progress, the more motivated you feel to continue. One practical way to embrace progress is to track it. Keep a journal, a checklist, or a calendar where you note your daily actions. Seeing your growth visually reinforces the truth. You're moving forward. That visible evidence chips away at self-doubt. Remember, greatness doesn't come from one perfect leap. It comes from countless imperfect steps. The painter improves with each brushstroke. The speaker grows with each presentation. The athlete sharpens with each practice. Perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. So let go of the illusion that you must be flawless. Focus instead on steady growth. If you're moving forward, even imperfectly, you're winning. And when you live by progress, self-doubt has no space to thrive. Rule 7: commit to lifelong growth. Self-doubt thrives in stillness. When you stop learning and stop pushing yourself, doubt creeps in and convinces you that you're unprepared or incapable. But there is one powerful antidote: growth. When you commit to lifelong growth, you train your mind to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to expand. Growth reminds you that no matter where you are today, you can always rise higher tomorrow. Here's the rule: commit to lifelong growth. Growth starts with mindset. Many people believe they are fixed, that their intelligence, skills, and abilities are set in stone. That belief feeds doubt, but a growth mindset flips the script. It says, I can learn, I can adapt, I can improve. With that belief, self-doubt loses its edge because you no longer expect yourself to be perfect now. You trust that you can always get better. Next, make growth practical. Don't wait for big moments. Build it into daily life. Read books that challenge your perspective. Learn new skills, even if they feel uncomfortable at first. Journal your reflections so you can track progress. Take courses, watch tutorials, or seek mentors who guide you forward. These small, consistent actions accumulate into long-term transformation. Your environment matters too. Surround yourself with people who inspire growth. Join communities where learning and ambition are celebrated. Just as negative environments feed insecurity, positive ones fuel confidence. Being around growth-minded people pulls you upward. Finally, celebrate progress. Too many people dismiss their improvement because it isn't dramatic enough. But every small win is evidence that you're evolving. That evidence is the strongest weapon against self-doubt. Each step forward tells your mind, I'm not stuck. I'm growing. Self-doubt whispers, you're not enough. Lifelong growth answers, I may not be there yet, but I am better today than yesterday, and tomorrow I'll be stronger than today. That commitment turns doubt into fuel and transforms uncertainty into belief. You've just walked through 7 powerful rules designed to silence self-doubt and replace it with unshakable belief. But here's the truth. Knowledge alone won't change your life. Action will. Reading these words is the first step, but your transformation begins the moment you decide to apply them. Ask yourself right now, how much longer am I willing to let doubt control my story? How many opportunities will I let slip away because I'm waiting to feel ready? The answer should be simple. No more. Not another day. Not another chance wasted. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the real you. Taking imperfect steps, showing up boldly, and growing stronger with each move forward. Every time you apply one of these rules, reframing failure, celebrating small wins, mastering your inner voice, you reclaim your power. You prove to yourself that doubt is not your identity. It's just a passing thought. So here's your challenge. Pick one rule and put it into action within the next 24 hours. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. Journal your wins. Speak your affirmations. Take that one step you've been avoiding. Build momentum today and watch how quickly doubt begins to fade. And don't do this journey alone. Share these rules with someone you care about. Teach them what you've learned, because teaching deepens your own belief. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher, and you'll rise faster than you ever thought possible. You're not your doubts. You are your decisions. And today, you can decide to step into a stronger, braver, more confident version of yourself. The only question is, will you take that step now? The time to act is not tomorrow. The time is today. The time is right now.